Hey yo, does anyone remember Johnny Test? Chances are, if you're old enough to buy V-Bucks with your own credit card, you remember this show. I mean, who would forget about this absolute classic cartoon, right? Well, a lot of people? Probably? I mean, most of you recognize the name and remember how the main character looks like, but how many of you really remember Johnny Test? The endless amount of side characters, the countless adventures and plot points. That one time Bling Bling released the hardest single of all time.
I'm Bling Bling, I'm Bling Bling. You can tell it cause it says it on my ring.
In all seriousness though, I just remember there being a lot to love about the show. When I was just a young Canadian boy, I'd watch Johnny Test almost every day after school. And not because I loved it or anything, it's just because that's what was playing when I got home from school. But that doesn't mean it's not an absolute banger show. I actually specifically remember having the theme song stuck in my head for 15 years now? It's still in my head. I sing it every day. There's so much to appreciate and observe from this series. It has like a sextillion episodes, it has web shorts, it got picked up by Netflix and then got 2 additional seasons somehow. It has random ass DVD releases, it probably has a movie or 2. It has video games, action figures, comic books. Hell, this thing even has its own amusement park somewhere in Quebec, which if you don't know, is a French place in Canada. With so much to review and dissect, I did what I usually do with these videos and spun a random wheel of randomness which decided which episode I'll be taking a look at today. Okay, is this good? I don't know if it's good. One thing about this TV show, much like other cartoons at the time, is although the episodes are like 30 minutes long, most of them actually comprise of 2 15-minute stories. And since I can't do YouTube full-time yet, I'll only have time to cover one of these stories today. Let this serve as a reminder to hit the like button, comment something wacky, and subscribe. Also, I'm picking which story of episode 6 we're doing randomly as well. This episode is called Johnny's Super Smarty Pants, which when you put the first letter of each word together spells out JSP. That doesn't mean anything. Just thought I'd let you know. We start our adventure at the Pork Belly Middle School. Turns out the school is doing their annual spelling bee. So we get the shot of this middle school girl who has to spell the word diphtheria, which, you know, is a serious infection caused by strains of bacteria called Corynebacterium. It's deadly. You can die. She ends up spelling the word correctly and is extremely humble about it.
Go me. I'm smart. Go me.
And I'm Kanye.
It's now Johnny's turn. If you haven't caught up by now, he's the main character. His name is Johnny Test. He's a little goofy looking, but he's got cool hair and a shirt that proves he's gotten a 25 kill streak on Modern Warfare 2. So it turns out Johnny just hit the jackpot on the spelling bee because his word is go. And no, I'm not kidding. His word is actually just go. As in, for the love of God, Jimmy Kimmel, please go away. Johnny, being a normal person with an extremely average intelligence, obviously spells the word correctly. It's literally just 2 letters. Not sure how anyone can really screw this up. Johnny screws it up. He misspells go.
We need your answer, please. G-E-A-U-X. Go.
He does get it wrong, so I guess he's a dumbass. We then cut to Johnny talking to his sisters. They're twins. Their names are Susan and Mary. Their whole thing is they're these super geniuses who experiment their new inventions on Johnny all the time. They do crazy sci-fi stuff. Sometimes it's brainwashing, other times it's time travel. They're pretty smart, but they're only 13 years old, so please stop making inappropriate TikToks about them.
Take it home and I beat it, fight night.
Bro, what? Anyway, Johnny explains to his sisters that he thinks their constant experimentation on him might be affecting his brain, to which the sisters reply with this.
Now excuse us while we lock ourselves in this lead box.
It's just classic cartoon bullshit. I love it. The scene that follows is basically just put there to show off the wacky stuff the sisters can come up with. They test out something called the hairdo ray on Johnny. This is basically a giant hairdryer ray beam thing that does what every barbershop in San Andreas does, but it doesn't cost you $150 just to shave everything off. Johnny expresses that he wants to be smart so he can impress the girl he likes. At this point in the series, the girl he likes is actually the first girl who spelled that deadly disease at the beginning. Her name is Janet Nelson Jr. She's not all that important to the series as a whole and just flat out gets replaced by a different love interest later on. But for this episode, she's the reason Johnny wants to get smarter. We also meet Dookie, and I'm not kidding, that's his name. Listen, every cartoon needs at least one ridiculously named character. It's required. Dookie is a talking dog, because of course he is. He's usually somewhat reasonable, and he's actually Johnny's best friend. I think. I don't know. Johnny demands that his sisters make him smart, so they make a quick invention called the Super Smarty Pants, which, let me remind you, when you put the first letters of each of the words, they're basically these regular white pants with a ripped pattern at the bottom. Looks like something Harry Styles would wear. I don't know. There's not really a realistic explanation for why these pants make you smart. They just do if you wear them. Also, they're just a size too large.
I'm a genius. Can you invent me a belt too?
Nonetheless, we get a montage style thing where Johnny is just being smart as heck. He's solving complex equations. He's upgrading lawn mowers, I guess. That's the smart thing to do. He's all of a sudden really good at football. Not really sure what that has to do with the pants, considering he just runs right into the other players and it works. Knowledge is power, I guess. After a long day, Johnny hangs his pants up and goes to bed. But then, the smarty pants have their HAL 9000 moment. Johnny wakes up the next morning and the pants actually made him some heart-shaped waffles. This is insane. Johnny's a little creeped out by this, which is kind of insensitive when you think about it. The pants spent time making those, you asshole. The pants are alive, essentially, is what I'm saying. So even though they're like alive and stuff, he's still wearing them because I gotta have big brain. Johnny's now at school and there's a teacher that comes up to him and basically tells him that she's like enrolled him into an after-school math competition thing. At first, Johnny says no because math is for fucking nerds, but then Janet shows up and is like, I'm actually the captain of the team. So Johnny says, all right, enjoy. We see Johnny making some goo goo gaga eyes at her, but then the smarty pants get in cockblock mode and straight up just make Johnny walk out of class.
Oh, hello there!
So not only are they really smart, but they can control his legs. What could go wrong? Johnny gets mad and insults the pants, so the pants do the only logical thing and remove the possibility of Johnny ever having children in his lifetime.
Wrong way, stupid pants!
We cut to the sisters running some tests on the pants and find out that the pants are actually alive, which we knew at this point. But apparently the sisters didn't know this until now. The problem comes when the sisters need to keep the pants in a lab to figure out what's going on, but Johnny has his math thing the next day, so it turns out Johnny's gonna have to go to this smart math competition without the pants. He thinks about skipping the competition altogether, but not wanting to be a little puss boy, Johnny decides that he's gonna show up to the competition without the pants. How brave. This would be a good redemption story, if not for Johnny waking up the next morning and finding out the pants somehow escaped the lab and put themselves onto Johnny's legs while he was sleeping. This is probably as close to a felony as a cartoon could get, I'd imagine.
Why don't you make yourself at home here?
Johnny tries to run away but can't, and then we get like a funny Dookie scene because that's mandatory.
Don't worry, Johnny. I'll save you. A piece of toast downstairs. Bye.
Like, that's actually funny. So he can't outrun the pants, so what does Johnny do? He gets sentimental and explains his feelings to the pants. He tells the pair how he really feels. It's very emotional. The pants get sad somehow, and then we fade to the math competition. Important to note that Johnny and the pants are not on good terms at the moment. So it's the big finale of the competition, and Johnny's up. He's given what I'm pretty sure is a very difficult question to answer for an 11-year-old.
Using binomial series, expand the following function as a Maclaurin series.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Also, the opposing team is from a town called Pork Butt instead of Pork Belly. Thought I'd point that out. So Johnny's given one final equation question, and then bam, out of nowhere, the pants show up. Johnny just runs out of the room and apologizes to the pants, says something along the lines of not being able to live without them. Very adorable. Tobuscus would definitely have this on Cute Win Fail.
One of my nipples is larger than the other two.
The pants basically get manipulated into falling in love with Johnny again and help him solve the equation. And because of this, Johnny's team wins the competition, even though they were like 9 points behind. But, you know, who's counting, I guess. That last one was worth 10 points. Fuck it. Why not? Janet is impressed by Johnny's massive brain, so she's like, meet me at the smoothie shop so we can be together. Johnny obviously loves the attention, but the pants do not. A little while later, and the pants decide to go to the smoothie shop alone. It's just called Smoothies, by the way. That's the name of the shop. The pants find Janet and basically kidnap her. It's not all bad, though, because we do get the best piece of dialogue ever said by a cartoon character ever.
What happened?
Janet was abducted by pants.
Who? Obviously, this is a pretty bad thing. So our boy John decides to get the giant hairdryer thing that we saw earlier and plans to use it on the pants. His train of thought is that the fabric used to make the pants is a cotton fiber optic mole hair blend. So it should react to the giant ray gun the same way as regular hair does. Obviously. How this guy couldn't spell go, I'll never know. So he brings the ray into town and shoots it at the pants. He's pretty proud of himself because all goes as planned. The pants should basically just disintegrate at this point. But turns out the ray that Johnny took with him was a different one that's nearly identical, except this one actually makes hair grow and gives the pants lasers for some reason.
Whoa! Didn't see that coming.
So not only do the pants have Janet, but now they're destroying the whole town because I guess they can. But then Johnny has his second and only other big brain moment in the entire episode. He remembers that he made a souped up lawnmower. He drives it in town and then turns it on while the pants are next to it, and the pants just get sucked in and completely shredded. This entire scene of getting the lawnmower and then shredding the pants lasts maybe 15 seconds. It happens like super quick. At this point in the episode, I'd like to remind you that we established the pants were sentient and had feelings, so it definitely felt its body getting completely ripped alive. Janet is impressed that Johnny knows how to handle a mower, and the two decide to finally get a smoothie together.
Smoothie, go smoothie, go smoothie, go smoothie.
The very last shot of the episode is of the broken pants. All seems well until we zoom in on them and realize it's not over. But you'll have to watch more episodes on your own time because that's actually the end of the episode. Good luck finding when this thing returns because I have no idea. And that was Johnny Test. Was it good? Kind of. But was it fun? Kind of. There's a lot more to the show than what I've covered today. There's characters like Johnny's parents, Bling Bling, Jill, Sissy, and so many more that didn't get to show up here. So I honestly encourage you guys to watch more episodes on Netflix or something if you're bored. Wait, pause. Did I just recommend watching something on Netflix? I think I did. Okay. I might be going crazy. But that's basically all I'm covering today, so I hope you enjoyed. Paula Abdul rates this one a solid Johnny Testicles out of 10. And yeah, thanks for watching.
A piece of toast downstairs! Bye!